And good evening viewers, welcome back and Gong Hei Fat Choi to you all. So this will round off the set of videos for this Chinese Lunar New Year with an obligatory visit back to Chinatown. This will be a somewhat more casual event this evening, and as such I'm outside the 8 restaurant here on Shaftesbury Avenue. This eatery, only having opened a few years ago, aims to bring a modern take of the classic Hong Kong teng diners here to the streets of London, just as with the legendary Gong Hei restaurant in Wardour Street did back in the late 1970s. Well, there's not really much more to say, so I'm going to keep this clean and simple, so I shall see you all inside by the table. Get into the menu, just keep myself entertained and decide what I want to order because time is money here. So while I'm waiting, I may as well guide you through the menu. So your soups and snacks. Bear in mind, it's not called a starter, as it's not done in that traditional 3-course tradition. So looks like there's a mix of classic items from your teng offerings, but with some interesting new items thrown in. Probably a bit more Pan-Asian as well to suit the palates of today's younger diners. Let's just flip over the menu. Sorry if this is not particularly, if I'm just rushing through, just mindful and don't want to hold anyone up. Sorry, the menu's flapping around because there is some kind of extractor fan above me. I wonder if they have a wine list. Okay, I've just been sat down and it's in the lower ground floor of the diner. It is very quite bijou here. It's only 80 seat capacity and may have to even share my table with a complete stranger in true teng fashion. Alright, here's the wine list and just a quick scroll through. There's no champagne on the menu, I'm afraid, so it won't be my celebratory drink. So it's going to be something a little bit more modest. Flip over, you got your soft drinks. And just 1 or 2 options of tea. I might just go for the jasmine tea. So there you have it. And you got your utensils provided for you to help yourselves. Selection of chopsticks there and your little spoons. And what's interesting is this. You got your serviettes in this little box. It's like a size of a pack of playing cards. Yeah, so there'll be no linen napkins in this dining experience, I'm afraid, folks. I just noticed though, while they don't do champagne, they do have Ovaltine and Horlicks. Sort of thing you drink before you go to bed. I just unfolded one of those little serviettes and this is the entirety of its size when you unfold it. It's quite bijou. I don't think it's going to cover my lap much. Slumming it right now. I'm not sure whether I'm going to get away with using my tripod at this table, and no, that isn't my bag, that's just another diner sharing my table, so this is going to be quite some challenge. So wish me luck, folks. And I've gone for a house beer instead. Wasn't convinced about the wine offering, so I should give this beer a taste, as it's apparently something that they do is unique to them, so this will be quite intriguing to taste. So on behalf of the 8 restaurant, cheers and Gong Hei Fat Choi. Here you go, some more information on where the beer is brewed. Red Church Brewery in the far eastern province of Harlow, Essex. Okay, I managed to score another table in the corner, just a table for 2 people, but I doubt they're going to sit someone opposite me. Surely not. And then anything can happen, eh? No dessert in this dining video, just as a warning. Just keeping things savoury for today. And again, food's going to arrive when it arrives here. That's just the way it is with Chinatowns. So, got a sui mai, which is one of the many staple options in dim sum. So chili sauce sprinkled on there, a little bit of garnish. So rather than me tell you, why not I just show you? Here we go. Picture is worth 1,000 words. Right. So there's a couple of chopped peppers and chopped chilies in here. Sorry, my apologies. Let's give this a go. Wow, that is delicious. Prawns and pork in there. Lovely mix of two, earth and the sea. And the lovely heat and kick of the chilies. I'm probably under describing it, but it makes sense if you taste one of these sui mai parcels. Yeah, fantastic. I'll just show you the inside view of it. It's probably more likely just pork. Maybe I'm just imagining there was prawn in there. I could be wrong. I'm going to have to look it up. Not sure I could trust my taste buds. Tonight I was a little bit disorientated with everything that is going on. And another dish of food has arrived, or more in a bold form. So classic wonton soup. Very simple, very classic, but I just want to try how well they can pull this dish off. So that will be next. And as a well-travelled hotel reviewer usually says, branding is on point here. Alright, so let's grab a spoon. Right, so this is going to have to go in one go. Here we go. Lovely filling. The pork in there, very springy. So good quality. Another one. Here we go. If you remember some of my previous videos, my visits to rural restaurants, Wilton's, Claridge's, this is nothing like it. They just simply tear the dining etiquette rule book and throw it out the window. I'm joking, it's to be expected. Similar to the Gong Hei, the food just arrives when it arrives. It's very brisk. Service is brisk and efficient, and you are expected as a diner to decide what you want to eat and eat quickly, which I'm not doing a very good job of. I'm one of those annoying vloggers who no doubt are irritating the other guests in this restaurant this evening, so I better get a move on. I say certain food is very comforting. I know I overuse that term, but this is certainly one of those right up there. The broth, very simple in terms of flavour and taste, not much complexity, it's just simple, not reinventing the wheel with it. And another. I'm going to need quite a few of these napkins. I have to stack them up ready. Okay, so maybe I should do a little swapperoonie and get back to the sui mai. I feel like one of those food reviews again, they get loads of food in one go and they're just circulating through each dish. That's not my normal gig, I'm telling you, trust me. Mindful of the chili oil on here, don't want to spill it anywhere, so there are pieces of prawn in here, so I'm not going mad. Now, having this again off the back of the wonton soup, you can appreciate the extra punch and a little bit more excitement going on. Super. Thank you. And this is to finish this piece off, so extra bit of chili oil on here. The chilies are so aromatic, gives that extra, the heat, but there's that pepperiness. I can't try to find the correct word to precisely describe it. You're just going to have to eat it, and then you understand. All right, so last piece. Here we go. I'm telling you, if anyone had a platter of these laying it on the buffet table, it won't last very long around me, I'm telling you. And say hello to the main course. So this is the 8 restaurants' signature barbecue and rice dish. So you get your chashui, barbecued marinated pork with a serving of jasmine rice, a fried egg. There's also some pickled vegetables there, and I believe these are gai lamb. But let's crack the egg yolk first for those ASMR types out there. So let's get a little initial taste of the rice with... Actually, there's a hit of soy sauce underneath. There you go. And perhaps some of the marinade that has leaked from the pork has gone into the mix of things to add extra bit of dimension there. Absolutely scrumptious. Another piece of the egg and some rice. I don't know if it's conveyed on camera, but I reckon things are moving very, very briskly at the moment. So normally I would be talking about the anecdote or the history of a given restaurant in between the courses, but everything's just arrived at one go, so I may have to adapt. The chashui, very soft, very tender. There is a reassuring sense of freshness, nice bit of springiness to the meat, whereas you get some places they take shortcuts, reheating older cuts, and you know when it tastes dry and just uneventful to eat, but this is certainly not like that at all. Let's try the gai lamb. Let's grab a little piece here. Here we go, third time lucky. Refreshing, as you get with gai lamb. These have been steamed. And let's try I believe this should be something more fermented or pickled. Yes, very familiar to what I used to have back at home with family many years ago. Lovely sharpness.
Yeah.
I'm sure you would notice there are no salt and pepper pots here, not even accompanying sauces, chili oils, soy sauce, anything like that. They just trust their own seasoning, so if you have a problem with it, perhaps go and have a word with the chef and vent your criticisms if you dare. Back to the chashui. Utterly satisfying. I'm just going to finish the last piece of the gai lamb. The salty sweetness of the pork has certainly provoked a bit more of a thirst, so there we go. I've ordered another house special lager. I did say it would be casual this evening. I just love the fact that the rice on the top is just pure unspelt jasmine rice, but as you go deeper, you get the sauce making its way up from the bottom. Hopefully I've captured this on camera, but you can see the briskness of the service and the lack of fuss in terms of the food and the choice of ingredients. You just get stuck in and not worry too much about protocol and etiquette. Places like these are designed for fast-moving environments in the cities, busy cities such as Hong Kong and even London. It works if you're in a hurry and you don't want to. I'm waffling now anyway, so you get the idea. Alright, cards on the table. I was supposed to do this piece outside the restaurant, but things are moving so quickly and it's raining outside as well. I fancy trying to do that all in one take, so just have to read off my notes. Here we go. So the 8 restaurant was launched back in September 2022. The vision is clear, bringing the concept of the Hong Kong diner here to the capital, which all in all rather works in the faster pace of modern London life. The 8 is part of the restaurateur named Alex Chu's growing empire of eateries in the London Chinatown area. Along with this includes the Chi, excuse the pronunciation, which is a Pan-Asian affair on Lyle Street. Then you have Kung Fu noodles, which is a noodle bar, naturally. And to follow that, you have Kung Fu Burger, which is just further along down the road on Shaftesbury Avenue. And that's just a few to begin with. But it seems to me that with Alex Zhu's collection of eateries all share a consistent theme, and that it appeals to a more casual, younger and diverse group of diners. And you can argue perhaps that is a sign of more things to come in the future of London Chinatown. That was the 8th restaurant on Shaftesbury Avenue in London Chinatown. And some who are watching will say this isn't a Hong Kong cha-cha teng, and you may be right, it is a London cha-cha teng, and with all the conveniences and trappings associated with dining in this city. So that about wraps it up for this year's Chinese New Year videos. And thank you again for all you viewers for your continued support and for sharing all your thoughts and experiences with me. It's very much appreciated. So I shall see you all again in the next video. So until that time, you all take care now, and Gong Hei Fat Choi.